Hey guys, so welcome to lesson 4, speed biomechanics, part of the 5 principles of speed development. Now in this lecture here, we're going to kind of combine everything that we've done in our previous lectures. I wanted to get out of the office a little bit, get on the whiteboard. I apologize, it's maybe hard to see some of this stuff here, but I want to just break apart and organize our thoughts from our speed and stress, from our speed and energy system development, and speed, gravity, and kinematics. So when looking here, you're looking at the speed biomechanics and we're organizing it based off the aforementioned principles that we've talked about. But when I look here, I'm looking at these 5 things. I'm looking at ground contact time in the 4 phases of our sprint. I'm looking at longer ranges of motion to shorter ranges of motion. This is based off the kinematic action of my body. I'm looking at posture, pattern, power, lever, and tissue, because each segment of the sprint, the way I organize my drills, are going to matter. I'm not going to need all of them all the time. We talked about ground contact time and managing collision. As I go further down, short to long, slow to fast, soft to hard, this is a further way to manage fatigue within a program. Now here, aligning weight room and speed and performance. This is a key one that we talked about a little bit in our gravity lecture. But knowing how to align your speed and how to align your strength work is extremely important. This is the #1 way you can mitigate unwarranted fatigue in a training program, right? I can't have 2 different types of athletic actions happening, one being more force dominant, one being more velocity dominant, in terms of if I'm organizing it around a speed or improving my particular sprint. In this case, could be the 30 or the 40-yard sprint. Lastly, underneath our aligning our weight room speed, this is just knowing the principles of the force velocity curve, strength potential, and our notion of unilateral to bilateral training. So one of the things here, and we're going to talk about how these principles apply to all the different things that you see here, but one of the things that's really important is understanding the technicality of what speed biomechanics is and what it encompasses. Because when people think speed and they think biomechanics, there's a lot of rift in terms of, should I train team sport athletes like track athletes? Should track athletes, right, should we adopt some of those principles that you see that are A skips, are B skips, marches, exchange progressions? And everything has a place. You see other camps where we talk about, hey, no, it's more about posture, torque, and timing. It's more about moving naturally, twisting and turning. And it's right? They are both correct. But what I want to do is I want to take both information, justify the cause for each, and show how it aligns within our program. So this is what's very important. When we segment each part of the sprint, we have our exercise progressions based on the biomechanics. We have the start, we have acceleration, we have max velocity. When we talk about each of these, I believe that there are 2 parts in terms of teaching speed biomechanics. One is the technical model. So this is improving linear speed. Improving linear speed is extremely important because it far exceeds getting from point A to point B the fastest. Sure, we are trying to improve our absolute time, our absolute peak miles per hour, our max velocity, but we are also trying to attain all of the physical subqualities of getting faster, improving neurological cognition, decision making, improving our strength, improving our reaction time, improving tendon and connective tissue strength. All of those subsequent physical qualities are a byproduct of improving linear speed, getting from point A to point B the fastest. Secondly, when we look at linear speed work, we're looking at improving times and metrics. The greater the variation that you choose to improve speed, it's harder to quantify. They have their place, we're going to talk about that in a bit, but the technicality of sprinting, we call it a technical day. Right? You need to have a technical day built into your program because you need to ensure that, well, how am I quantifying how I'm getting better week after week? And we're going to talk about that in our data section with Coach Shake after that. But also all of the other physical qualities. Now, your second component of this, you're going to have what we call situational or expressional speed. This is where we are taking all of the principles from our technical day, the physical qualities, developing acceleration, peak force output, 0 to 2 steps, and we're looking at how can we improve, right, that, or how can we utilize that in a game setting. A lot of the times people train fast, but they don't necessarily play fast. So how can we bridge the gap between the two, because both camps understand that getting faster in live gameplay is the end objective, but we need to quantify them. So when we look at each start here, we have the start, acceleration, max velocity. This is our start, this is acceleration, this is max velocity. If you look here, we have technical starts and expressional speed starts. Under acceleration, we have technical starts and expressional starts. Then we have under max velocity, technical starts, expressional starts. Now, when looking at technical starts, like I alluded to before, this is standardizing our movement. What are our checks and balances that we are looking to improve to ensure that we are